We're doing NFL player props here on PrizePicks for Sunday, October 23rd. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. With that promo code or with the link in the description below, you will get 100% deposit match on your first deposit. There's also a Discord link in the description where we're building a strong community. We're at almost 900 members, I believe, in the Discord, completely free. Go ahead and check out that link out in the description below, as well as Patreon link in the description below of this video, where I do give all the plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks, NBA, NFL, college football, MLB still as well. If you take a look at how we did last Sunday, college football or NFL slate here, pretty well overall. A lot more green. We did really well in the afternoon games. We actually hit all six, or we hit 6-1 in the afternoon games here, and had some misses here, some close misses. Like David Njoku had 3 receptions, had his 4th called back, things like that. So definitely take a look at all those links in the description below of this video. But nonetheless, we're giving 2 player props here that I like for Sunday, October 23rd. This is for Sunday morning games and afternoon games. There's going to be a separate video for Sunday Night Football, and then obviously a separate video for Monday Night Football. Do also want to mention I'm not a gambling expert. This is not financial advice. This is simply the plays I'm personally looking at making, hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player props here. And I do also want to remind everyone that at the end of the day, this is a hobby. You should not be trying to, replace any sort of income or anything by betting on sports. But let's get into it, you guys. 2 total player props that I do like. Let's not waste any time. Let's go. First one I like is going to be Brian Robinson. And again, I think this has a chance to bump here, but I like his over 13 rush attempts here. Now, we saw Brian Robinson come back, obviously being on the injured reserve. And in that first game back, he had 9 carries, 22 yards, average 2.4 yards per carry. And then in that Thursday Night Football game, which just was a horrendous game overall, he did have 17 carries for 60 yards and a rushing touchdown. Did average 3.5 yards per rush here. So they did really commit to what they were saying in the offseason, how they were going to feed Brian Robinson. And I mean, he's had 26 carries in 2 games off, being shot in the leg. Or I'm not sure. I don't want to be incorrect about where he was shot, but after being shot, went on IR, comes back, first 2 games has 9 carries and 17 carries. Surprising to me that his line is at 13. Again, if this does bump, there's really nothing I can do about the bumps. It's just how this kind of works here. So I do apologize if this line has bumped. Leave a comment below. I'll let you know if I still like it or not. But at 13 rush attempts here, I think some supreme value. One, because the running backs this season against the Packers have really ran the ball, right? Overall, I mean, the Packers are 2nd overall in the NFL behind the Bears, which we just saw Brian Robinson go for 17 carries against. And again, that was his 2nd game back. He's getting stronger and stronger each week. But the Packers are 2nd in the NFL at total rush yards given up, right? Yards per carry. They're 5th in the NFL in yards per carry. In total rush attempts, they are, 7th in the NFL total rush attempts, 136 rush attempts total. And you can see here, running backs this season against the Packers, right? The line is at 13. We've seen Saquon Barkley push, Ramondre Stevenson go over, David Montgomery, Damian Harris, Breece Hall, and Dalvin Cook. So we've seen 5 different players from 5 different through 6 weeks at least push this line of 13 here for 13 rush attempts for Brian Robinson. I think it's a great spot for him. I think also another big catalyst to why I like this play here is that Taylor Heineke is starting. Okay, so Carson Wentz is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a fractured ring finger. 29-year-old suited up in 16 games for Washington last season, completing 65 of his passes. So overall, I mean, Taylor Heineke, he's not like, he started 16 games last year, so it's not like he's a rookie, or he's not like a detrimental backup. He can get the job done, but I think they're going to definitely try to rely on the ground a little bit more here in this game. Love Brian Robinson over 13 rush attempts here. Again, I do think this has a chance to get bumped up. So if you do see it, you like it. Again, if you do like it yourself after doing your own research, I recommend it here. Again, that's why I'm giving it to y'all. But Brian Robinson over 13 rush attempts is the first play here for Sunday. It's going to be another running back here, and we're going to go with Kenneth Walker. And I like his over 13 fantasy score here against the Chargers. Now, I like this for a few reasons. One, Kenneth Walker, since Rashad Penny's been out, has been now the unquestioned back. Rashad Penny went out in this game, and as soon as Rashad Penny went out, Kenneth Walker had 8 carries, 88 yards, and a rushing touchdown. And then last week against Arizona, when he started the game, first NFL start, as the running back here for the Seahawks. He had 21 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Also caught two of 3 targets for 13 yards. Total on the week, he finished with 19 fantasy points last week, 14.8 fantasy points on only 8 carries here in the week before that. But I like this for a few reasons. One, there's no competition for him for really touches. I think, and even more so now that he had 21 carries for 97 yards last week, averaged 4.6 yards per carry. It's really solidified himself as the unquestioned bell cow back in this offense. But also, the Chargers have just been getting destroyed by running backs. We saw James Robinson, Dameon Pierce, Nick Chubb all go for 100+ yards and a rushing touchdown. Nick Chubb went for 134 and 2 rushing touchdowns. We've seen Clyde Edwards-Helaire have 8 carries for 74 yards. Also catch 4 targets for 44 yards. And then also take a look at this. I mean, Kareem Hunt, 47 yards, 10 receiving yards. And then Travis Etienne, 45 rushing yards and 30 receiving yards. And Kenneth Walker, if you watch the footage, I mean, he can catch the ball at the backfield. Like, that's not something he can't do. Overall, the Chargers' PPR fantasy points per game against running backs are giving up 28.3 fantasy points per game to running backs, which is the 5th highest in the NFL. I mean, like I said, they're just getting absolutely torched by running backs all season long. Yards per carry, they're giving up the most yards per carry in the NFL. Chargers giving up the most yards per carry in the NFL at 5.83 yards per carry here. I think Kenneth Walker goes crazy against them. I mean, he's going to get 20+ touches. 20+ touches at, 5.8 yards per carry. You guys can do the math there. And then also, if he scores a touchdown, this is an easy over. Any sort of receiving work helps tremendously as well for him. So, Kenneth Walker, over 13 fantasy score here against the Chargers, taking the over on this one. These are the 2 player props here for Sunday, October 23rd. We got Brian Robinson over 13 rush attempts, and we got Kenneth Walker over 13 fantasy score. All right, so again, let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these player props here. All I ask is you drop a like on this video, and if you have not yet already, hit that subscribe button. If you take a look at my channel, you see I drop daily fantasy player prop content here. Hit that subscribe button, you guys, and as always, let's cash.